Okay, guys, let's take a moment to welcome our wonderful guest, Taydro. Hi. Everybody's here, and it's been wild in chat. I'll let you introduce yourself first, but then apparently there's something that I need to inquire about. I've heard yes and no. I should ask about it. So we'll see how it goes. But if you want to give a quick intro of yourself, just for the people who are here who don't know you already, yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Tiffany. I should just kidding. My chat wants to see me burn tonight. That's all I see. Hi, I'm Taydro. I stream on over on twitch.tv/Taydro. I do a bunch of fun stuff over there. I got a fun crowd. I'm a variety streamer, one of the few on Twitch. There's not too many of us, but I do just chatting, play a little bit of games over there. So it's a good time.
Awesome. Yeah, they were telling me to ask about Tiffany, and I heard ask about it, don't ask about it, so I didn't know.
I don't know how Tiffany started. This is the thing that I do with a blonde wig. Someone sent a blonde wig to my PO box, and I'll just like, sometimes they'll ask for Tiffany, and that's my alter ego where I'm just this dumb as rocks blonde that doesn't know what's going on.
I love that.
So that's me, and we hate and love her at the same time. It's a terrible time though.
Oh yeah, it's one of those relationships. You're like, we love it, but also like maybe not.
Yeah, I hate it the whole time I'm in that character. It's my mom loves it for some reason. I saw her here tonight.
I feel like it's such a mom thing, you know, too, to be like, yeah, like this, I love it.
Do the embarrassing things on the internet, daughter. Go get them.
I know. Well, sometimes my mom will pop up and I'll be doing something just absolutely wild. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she saw the whole thing.
Also, first of all, you look amazing tonight, but you as Thanos, let me just say, that is not nightmare fuel for me. That
my gosh.
Out of fantasy.
Thank you.
Gosh. So many blue characters you could be. Have you ever thought about Stitch or something?
Oh my gosh.
You'd be able to pull them all off.
I was gonna say, I've had someone recommend doing, I don't know if you've seen, someone did Squidward from SpongeBob, but in the moment where he's like got a chiseled jaw, you know, and he's super buff, like handsome Squidward.
Handsome Squidward, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's become an option that's on the table. So we'll see.
I'm rooting for that one. I need to see that. I think we need to see that.
Let me just tell you though, the bald cap is just like, it's the inside of it, it's just hair gel and hairspray. It's just so, the worst part is taking it off, because then you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go soak my head in water for an hour.
Gosh, just like peeling back Gorilla Glue or something off your
pretty
head.
much. Yeah. It's like a free wax for my hairline.
Oh man, sounds awful. She really committed to you guys for that one.
I guess kind of starting off with everything, how long have you been streaming? And what brought you to streaming?
Oh, what an interesting question for me, I think. So I started streaming back in like 2015 during the H1Z1 era. And I actually started streaming on my then husband. I got married when I was a baby. My then husband's Twitch. So Taydro actually used to be Saba CSGO before the name change thing was a thing. So I'd stream H1Z1 Survival on his account. And people started following and talking to me. So when he would come in and stream, they'd be like, wait, I followed a girl. Like, who are you? So slowly it kind of like became my account, and I started streaming more. And eventually it was like, Taylor, streaming is your thing. You take it, you run with it. So it'd be like H1Z1 Survival, Counter-Strike, The Forest. Those were like my early games. But took a lot of big breaks, like went to college, had some like big life events. So a lot of big breaks since 2015, but 2015 went full time 2 years ago. So it never looked back. My parents really pushed for that, and I'm not kidding. My mom was like, you need to work a 9 to 5. And my dad was like, stream on Twitch. Don't listen to your mom. So I said, yeah, I like Dad's answer. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. It's always good when there are parents who like also like know about it and support it, because like, my parents, when they figured out what Twitch was, they were very confused at first. Like they didn't understand the concept, but ever since, they love to come in. My dad just loves to come in and joke around with chat. Like if he were my age during this era, he would absolutely be a troll, I think.
our dads need to meet up. My dad's in your chat. We need to get your dad in your chat. We got to get Twitch dads together. Start a little Twitch dads club.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, that's so cool. Was there a point in which you shifted from doing like games and stuff into just chatting? Because I don't know when when the category, because I'm still generally new to Twitch in that I joined in like 2019. Right. So is there a point when it was, you know, created, or when you shifted more towards that?
Super good question, actually. Yeah, when I started Twitch, if you weren't gaming, that was like a no-no. Like you had to have a game open. And that's when I started. But as Twitch started to like kind of branch out and branch into just chatting, IRL, baking, cooking, which brilliant move on Twitch's part. Even around that time, I started losing an interest in video games. Like, I don't know if I started to outgrow my hobby of video games, or if video games just weren't as interesting to me anymore. Maybe like the BR Battle Royale scene peaked with H1Z1 for me, and then Fortnite, and then, I don't know, games just seem bland. I don't know if it's me or them, but you know, we've kind of had a little bit of a breakup. But I sometimes game on my channel. Like, I'm doing a couple horror games, and I've done a couple like escape room games, or sometimes I do community games, but it's mostly just chatting. So I guess with my interest switching is kind of when I've made the switch, I'd say.
I heard you mention horror games. Is that something you enjoy to do? Like, do you enjoy scary games?
Yes and no. For a little while, I like swore off like I used to love like horror movies back in the day, and then I swore them off, and I'm like dabbling back into horror movies a little bit. And then chat loves watching me. I like poop my pants. I get so scared. I'm so easily spooked. So they love to see me burn. They love to watch me suffer. So they say, hey, here's a really fun game for you to play, but it's not a fun time at all. I'm crying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I do enjoy it.
Which games have you done?
I started Dead at Night today, which is kind of like a story game and a horror game. It's pretty well made, but we're having fun with that one.
I finished Until Dawn recently, which was it wasn't a bad, like, as far as like story goes and everything, it wasn't bad, but it's so much like quick time events, and like you have to be able to hit the right button at the right time kind of thing, and then how you play impacts how many characters live kind of thing.
I played one like that. I kill a lot of characters.
Oh yeah, it was really stressful.
I'm sure you were much better than I will ever be.
Oh no. It's like a dreaded. I'll take just like breaks in between. Like, I started Outlast. It took me probably like 10 or 11 months. Oh my goodness.
Heck yeah.
Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. But it took me like a couple of months to finish. Well, almost a year, because I took so much time in between. But that was the first horror game I ever did. So I'm easing into it. I just have to force myself to do it.
I get that. Yeah. Like, it is a fun time.
Yeah. It's like, that love-hate relationship where you're like, I don't want to be scared and I don't like the anxiety of it, but also it's like not the worst.
Yeah. I'm coming around to him for sure.
Do you have a favorite thing to stream?
So I would say it's just chatting, and I go through waves of topics I like to talk about or things I like to stream. Like, for a little while I got into art, and then once I realized like, oh, I'm actually kind of good at this, it became a very like private thing for me. So I'll go through like waves, and sometimes for a little while it was art, and for a little while it's like community games. Like, I went through a phase of like playing tabletop Secret Hitler or Nerds and stuff, or sometimes it's just chatting, and the fun conversations are like the dating or psychology and mental health, or a banter back and forth. So it really depends on where I'm at and what my focus is right now. I don't know. It varies.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that's the cool thing about being a variety streamer, though. Like, you can just kind of do what you want. And usually chat, since they know it's about knowing you as a streamer, they're just kind of there for it, which is kind of, I feel like, one of the best things to have as a streamer.
Yeah, I get to like incorporate my hobbies into my stream. It's super fun. So I enjoy that.
Do you have a current favorite stream memory?
Oh gosh, my 26th birthday. Not my 27th, but a year ago. My 26th birthday was just, I guess I have a couple big ones. One stands out in particular. Okay, I have two. These are my two big ones. My 26th birthday, like this chair I'm sitting in, a group of people got together and pitched in a bunch of money and surprised me. Like it showed up at my doorstep while I'm streaming. I'm bawling, crying. They have this beautiful movie. They surprised me with cake. I felt so loved that day. Thinking about it, I'll start tearing up, but I don't want to do that here. But I felt so loved that day. It was the most insane memory. So that's probably my favorite memory streaming. And I guess my second one that stands out the most, and a lot of people here might have found my stream if they're from my stream this way. There's just an interaction with my dad and I that kind of went viral. So it stands out in my mind because it went viral, but it also just brought a lot of good to people's lives, and people saw good in that moment. And it was just a raw, real moment with my dad and I. And I don't know, that was a favorite moment for me too, I think. That moment. But yeah,
I love that. All the sentimental moments, and I feel like those are really just the ones that stand out the most, because like streaming can be a lot of fun, and like that's also great. Like just having it be fun is great, but I think having those moments where like, I don't know, you just know that you've got this amazing community of people to support you. You know, they love you, like you said, they love to watch you burn, but when it matters, but like they also lift you up a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they don't let your ego get to your head. Like what would yours be? Your favorite moment on your stream? I'd love to hear that.
Oh my gosh.
Turning the tables.
Yeah, I was not ready for that. I think it was probably at the end of, I did a 24-hour stream on my 1 year like stream anniversary, and it was oh my gosh, it was a lot. And so it was like towards the end of it, someone had like, it started as a negative, right? Like they said something to my boyfriend who was helping me out with the stream. He was on it with me. And I stepped away for a second because I ate a really spicy gummy bear and I was recovering.
A gummy bear?
Yeah, it was a really spicy gummy bear. Like you could buy, it's this one gummy bear and it's got like concentrated spice oil in it.
That sounds like a terrible.
It was terrible, and I regretted it as soon as I did it. My tongue was on fire. But I stepped away and someone asked a question to him. They're like, how does it feel to like ride on Aya's coattails? And that like, I was so mad. I'm like, I will be nice until you come after people that I care about. Like you can come at me all you want, but come after someone I care about. Absolutely not. I don't think so.
Oh, she's about to rip him a new one.
Oh yeah, and I did. I came in and I did that. I was like, that is not okay. But then from there, it just turned into being able to appreciate all the people who were there and all the people who were supporting. And then it became just like a really emotional moment of like appreciating everybody who was there celebrating.
I love that. You're big on that. You're big on appreciation, I've noticed.
I am very big on appreciation.
I love that, actually.
I don't know. It's one of those that I'm like, you know, life is short. Life is crazy. Everybody's going through stuff, and you never know how much, you know, I know how much everyone means to me, but they don't always know. And I think it's important to let them know that, you know, especially as a streamer, like everybody in the community, like the stream environment doesn't exist without them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I liked that answer. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like, oh God, I'm not ready.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. What would you say is the hardest part about streaming to you?
This answer changes for me over time. But I think my most general answer, like this is one that will stay with me as long as I've streamed, is there is a heaviness to streaming. There is a heaviness to being so deeply involved with the community. I feel like I've gotten a lot of heartbreaking DMs. I have a safe space on my channel where people just kind of like share their hearts and what they're going through. And that's where I like pray for my community. I lift my community up in prayer. Even if they don't believe that kind of thing. There's a lot of people that use that space as just like a space to just vent. And that sometimes it can be a lot to carry, but it's an honor to carry. But like just seeing all the heartbreak in the world, I think is maybe the heaviest part to streaming for me. Things are heavy. I feel like, especially like with the pandemic going on, I feel like everybody I know has like a small just world of chaos around them, like a small personal world of chaos. So I don't know. that got really hard. Sometimes can be really hard. And my safe place allows me to kind of separate from it a little bit because it's anonymous. So sometimes they don't give me their username, and sometimes I'm allowed to like pray for this person daily, but it's kind of not as weighted, but it is pretty weighted sometimes. Some days like the weight of the world does feel like it's on my shoulders a little bit. That might be the answer.
It's definitely, I think that was one of the first things I remember learning as a streamer, because like, especially with a just chatting kind of channel, you want to be so involved with everybody, but to a certain degree you have to make sure that you're balancing your own mental health as well. It's so hard to negotiate, like, where do I draw the line kind of thing, because you don't want to, you care about these people, you do, but then it's also like you can't every day carry, you know, at every moment carry all of it with you, because then it's just overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I had to get really good about boundaries, and I still struggle with them. But I guess outside of that, like a more personal thing that I guess like is separate from stream that I find like difficult, that I've noticed for myself, like sometimes I'm in a really good place, but when I'm in my own world of chaos and my days are hard, sometimes it's hard to like mentally have the bandwidth to show up and be that smiling face on stream. That's like what they're used to, and I want to make their day better, but sometimes like I don't have the bandwidth for that. And that's another boundary I've had to put up recently. Yeah. That's another boundary. Like if I can't show, that's actually why I have trouble making a schedule. Cause sometimes like I have trouble showing up. Like sometimes like if I can't be there, I don't want them to be stuck with a sad Taylor. So I just give me the wiggle room to not show up if I can't. Yeah. You know? What about you? I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, that's, I think, because I try to schedule, like I've got these days and then I have these days off, and the guilt for canceling is so heavy. Yes. Like I feel so bad for being like, I'm sorry, I just mentally am not in a place to handle this today. You know, it's like, I know that I'll get on and I'll just be this vacuum of like, everything is bad. Like, even if that's not how they make me feel, it's like, if you're in that headspace, it's so hard to turn on and be like, all right, well, let's go. Like, it's a good day, you know? So
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that so much, but sometimes here's how I'll explain it too. Like sometimes I'll like constantly be in that headspace and I have trouble shaking it. That was kind of like what my summer looked like last year. I had trouble shaking that bad headspace. But sometimes I find streaming kind of like going to the gym. Like sometimes you just are not there to step into the gym. But once you step into the gym, like you're so happy you went. Yeah. Streaming when I'm in a bad headspace can be like, I can't bring myself to be on camera right now, but sometimes if I hit go live, I'm like, this just like set the tone for my entire day. Yeah. And I'm in such but it's like, I never know when that'll be. Some days it's hard. Some days like, I'm glad I went there. Like some days it brings me joy. Like they brought me the joy I needed instead of me bringing them the joy. And that's an interesting exchange to have.
It's always, there are certain nights that, and I've noticed it a couple of times. I've been more aware of it, I guess, recently. But like there are nights that I go to bed and I just kind of like smile to myself because I'm like, wow, everybody's really cool, and like it was a good day. Like it was an average day before, and then I streamed and got to hang out with all of these really cool people, and it was a good day. Like it's so wild. And again, that's why I feel so thankful all the time for, you know, the people in the community, because they truly do have the ability to turn around someone's day. And they often do, unless they're, you know, the trolly kind.
They have no idea. You guys have no idea how impactful you are on us too.
It's it's funny because off stream sometimes I'll talk to, because my mom knows, like, you know, some of the community members, because she'll come through or she'll like lurk and stuff. And so my mom will be like, oh, so how's Cowboy doing? You know, just like check in and like ask how people are doing. And it's really cute. And then I also love just getting to like, I don't know, talk to my mom about these people that I also, you know, that she likes and I adore, and it's a fun, I don't know, a fun dynamic.
That's exactly, yeah, I get that so much. My parents are so much like that. They know everybody, like sometimes by their first names. It's the wildest thing, but I feel the same way. Like going to my parents' house, like, oh, me and my parents talked about you guys this weekend. Yeah, I get that. I love that. I love how involved your parents are.
Yeah, it's cute. They were very confused at first. My dad definitely thought that I was a cam girl at first. I don't think he understood what I was doing, because he was like, people give you money to talk to them. And I was like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like,
I get it. I mean, technically, if you pitch the idea of Twitch to anybody, it'd be like, that, there's no way that would make sense. The idea of Twitch just doesn't make sense, but it works somehow. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so like over time they started kind of like, they'd come through and hang out, and my dad just loves to be like one of the guys just joking around. And but yeah, it's very nice to have, I mean, it's good and bad, because my dad will come in. He came in once and made a joke about, he's like, hey, how are your gas problems? I don't have gas problems, but now my chat always asks me, how are your gas problems? So
she has gas problems, right, Scott?
Yeah, that's in summation. But yeah, so like overall good. You know.
That's awesome. I love that. That's cute.
Let's see. I have this list, and like it's not like a hard list of things that I have to ask, but I just yeah, do you have anything that you want to start, like that you want to start streaming, or maybe go like into a different area of streaming that you're either not sure how to do, just haven't done, or you're like afraid to try kind of thing?
Yeah, there's kind of two areas actually. One is getting back into art streaming, because it started off as a joke. Then I was like, oh, maybe I kind of like this and I kind of enjoy this and I'm not so bad. And then I was like, oh, I actually want to try, but what if I'm bad on stream? like, so there's that area. I think practicing in that area, I'd eventually like to bring that back a little bit, but it somehow it's gotten so personal that I don't want to fail on stream. I hate that phrase, but it's just true. The second one is IRL streaming, is something I've slowly started dabbling in recently. I kind of want to do one a week, and I've been doing okay with that. But that's service is mostly the problem with that. Like going somewhere and having like bad cell service, and I have a laggy slideshow stream, and so that's kind of what I'm overcoming there. Not so much being embarrassed in public, because I get pretty comfortable pretty quick. But yeah,
with art, what kind of like, what medium do you typically do?
So on stream it'll be digital, but I now have a lot of stuff. Like I have colored pencils, and like there's like fancy pens, I don't know the name of them, but I have those. I have like watercolor, and I'm probably gonna pronounce this wrong, but gouache, I have that. I have acrylic paints. I have like the acrylic paint medium that makes it thicker. I'm all over the place. You've got everything you need. I love mixed media. That's what it is. That's it. I'm all over the place, but I'm just kind of enjoying figuring it out and having fun with it and just making a mess.
Yeah, when you do or like approach a new project, is it something specific? Like, do you have typically something in mind, or do you just like freehand kind of come up with that as you go?
Yeah, I'll freehand come up with that as I go. I have no like. So I feel like artists develop a art style as they go along, and I feel like I'm so new into art that I have no idea what that is or what that's going to look like. So I'm just playing at this point. Like it started off like I had fun drawing animals. I'm kind of good at that. And then I'm starting like a little bit of like face anatomy and hands and stuff. So I don't know. I'm just rolling with it.
That's so much fun though. Yeah. Like it's one of those that like, since I do like acting stuff obviously, but we always talk about like how important it is to like maintain that childlike sense of wonder and creativity and exploration, especially as you get older. Cause you know, people are like, oh, you're an adult now. And I think that it's so freeing just to like go and do something without like worrying like, oh, is this right? Just kind of doing it like, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah. So acting's your thing. How often do you get to like putting that into practice? Like, do you get to do it pretty often?
I mean, so do you mean like on stream or like in life?
Both. Do you do it on stream? Oh my God. Do you get to do it on stream?
I've done like little bits of things on stream, and like sometimes it'll come out. Like I'm also a very like theatrical person, and that's just I'm dramatic, you know. And so like I'll play a game and I'll do voices or like different, I don't know, like I did an e-girl stream, so basically that whole stream was a character, you know, like the whole stream was this like e-girl persona, and And so I've kind of tried to find ways to integrate it into stream, and I'm working on a segment for actors and writers to do on stream. And so I'm trying to like blend it as much as I can. And I guess outside. So I graduated spring of 2020 from like an acting program. And I kind of sat around it's a pandemic, so nothing's filming.
Yeah.
So I signed with a manager, and I've been doing little bits of auditions, but I'm in classes now. So hopefully I'll be able to find an agent and start working. But that's my current place, I guess, in life. But I try to do it as much as I can just because it's fun to play around with it, especially on stream.
I love that. I always wish I did theater, like when I was in high school or something. That's something I wished I did do, like get into, because I feel like I would have had so much fun. And streaming is basically just improv the entire time.
Streaming has strengthened my improv ability like infinitely. Like you have to be ready to think on your feet and go with what chat says. Like being able to like have a quick comeback to something in chat. Like it's definitely a skill that applies to streaming.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I've definitely found that. I've never like auditioned for a play or I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know why. Just randomly today I was thinking about this. Like I just love trying new things. I've never auditioned for a play. I have no background. I don't have any expectations to ever get a part. I'd love to just go to an audition and just freaking audition for a part. Just go for it. Any part, just do it. I think that would be so fun for me just to go through the audition process. Because I like the little bit of an adrenaline rush of like performing in front of people. I've done improv before and I like got such a high doing improv. I would love to try that just once.
Oh yeah. It's
just once in my life.
It's one of those that like as an actor person, like to have your approach to it is the best possible way to approach it. Because when you make it such a big deal, then everybody freaks out and like it's hard to manage that. But like you have the perfect, honestly, you'd probably walk in and book it just because of the attitude that you have towards it already.
Dude, I'd go in so confident, not knowing what the heck I'm doing. I'm truly a fake it till I make it person. That's just
honestly,
what I would do.
That's all you gotta do. Oh, I had another question and I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah. How do you feel about public speaking?
Love it in like a way where, okay, this is like, maybe I'm lying to myself, but it's a little nerve wracking. I think it is for anybody, but I like that adrenaline rush. Kind of like what I said about performing and doing the improv stuff. I like the adrenaline rush to the point where I almost enjoy it in a sick way. Like,
yeah. It's just something about that, like, oh my God, like it's about to happen.
Yeah, I always loved like group projects in college because I guess it's kind of like in a performance or like being able to crack a joke in college when we were doing our projects and stuff, being able to crack a joke and like getting a good laugh out of the crowd, that was always a high for me. I don't know. I'm not the best, I guess, but I do like it.
What did you study in college?
Very nice degree, glorified general studies. We call it business management. So I have a business management degree.
You have more credibility than I say that my acting degree is a BFA in deception. So
it's perfect. Yeah.
What do you feel your strong suit is with streaming?
I think my banter. I think I enjoy banter with chat. I have pretty thick skin, so they can kind of come up with some heavy stuff or hard stuff, some pretty hard roads. I can come back at them. I can take it. I think it's just being able to banter with chat very well.
Yeah.
I think that's my strong suit in streaming, probably.
It's important.
That's a good question, though. What would you say if someone were to ask you that?
I usually
it's so competitive on Twitch. There's so many just chatters. It's kind of like, what's your niche? How do you stand out on Twitch? Like, I just do chatting.
Someone asked me, I don't remember what, it was some podcast I did a while back, and it was like a group thing, and they're like, what do you do better than anyone else? And I was like, self-loathing, is that the answer? Like, is that what we're looking for?
Really good about crying in my tub, you should see.
I think I hold a record for a consecutive amount of nights just like curled up in a ball,
super good at the
Yeah,
fetal position.
yeah, I've nailed it. It's like yoga. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think my biggest issue is that I am probably too perfectionistic. So like I'll see other people and be like, oh my God, they're so good at this. They're so creative. And it's so easy to get into that loop of like, I don't do this kind of thing. Which is why I like to ask streamers because yeah. Oh my God. It's like, especially with like social media, but with Twitch, when you see other people and like they're doing their thing, you're like, oh my God, that's so good. And yeah. But that's why I like to ask the question, because I think that obviously every streamer has some sort of strong suit, you know, because they have a community and they're doing their thing. So I like to know, I don't know, also because it like gives people a chance to reflect on like themselves in a positive light.
Yeah, that's such a good question. That is a really good question.
I think that's all of the like stream specific questions that I have. So everything else is a little bit more general and kind of like open-ended. Well, I mean, it's all open-ended, so whatever you're, you know, comfortable with. So this next question, pretty much everybody's always kind of like, what does this mean? I don't really know how to, you know, so it's kind of however you feel most comfortable. What is your story? And you can answer as specifically or generally, you know, from whatever amount of time of your life you'd like to sum it up in, but take as much time as you'd like.
I see why this is a hard one. I get that. My story, I guess I've been doing a lot of self-reflection lately. Like, have you ever heard of the game We're Not Really Strangers?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I was looking at getting it.
Oh, do. Yeah, support that company totally. Give them all your money. They're great. I love what they're doing with their products. But they have like a very personal option there. It is a self-reflection journal. And you kind of have to look inward a little bit and ask yourself some harder questions like, what are your toxic traits and stuff? So like, I guess this is something I've kind of been thinking about. And I don't think my story really started, or I don't know, maybe it started my adult life. It's just, I've lived so many lives. I'm only 27 and I feel like I should be 40. I feel like I got married young. I lived in Puerto Rico and like started a company. I am getting a divorce. I moved to Ohio for a boy. It didn't work out. I live away from my family. My brother died. Like all these little big things play into like the last 27 years of my life. And I guess all that would be my story. I have no idea. Look at this photograph. I don't know. I used to be a girl that never knew what pain was, only knew what joy was, felt like she had it all together. I was 19, going to college, was gonna have a good life, married, the picture perfect wife. And then life just went haywire and it just didn't. And then I learned what hardship was, and I learned what it was to like be resilient, like how resilient the human heart is and the human mind is. Cause sometimes I guess you don't realize it when you haven't struggled too much. Cause my life was pretty straightforward up until my adult life. So I don't know. My story just involves all the heartache I've recently been through and all the lessons I've learned, and I'm just still living it, like pretty heavily still living it. I'm not coasting and I've already lived my story. I'm like still just figuring it out every day.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even answer the question. I have no idea how.
I mean, the answer to the question is whatever comes up for you and whatever you feel, you know, comfortable sharing. So I just think that it's also such a testament to who you are and the fact that you are such an uplifting, inspiring presence for so many people, despite all of that. And the fact that this hardship and this pain that you've experienced, and not to say experience past tense, because, you know, it follows you and it's always a part of you. But the fact that you use that to inspire and to care for so many others is just such a beautiful thing. And that's one of the things that I've always just seriously admired about you. You are such an amazing human, and you do you're just such an amazing presence for people to have around. And
please, no. I think we all go through it. Life, we are all gonna freaking go through it, dude. Like, I didn't feel that at 19, but gosh, I know it now. And everybody's like, oh, you're so strong, Taydro, to sit on screen and smile at the end. Yeah, every single one of you guys, everybody is gonna feel the pain I felt. We all go through it. And I don't know, it's just like linking arms with your people and just trucking through it together kind of thing. It's not me that held myself up at all. I didn't hold myself up. I mean, I'm here smiling, but it's not because I held myself up at all, because I surely didn't. Surely didn't. Some days I still need to lean on people, and I could be bad about that sometimes too. So I don't know. I'm very flawed, guys. Not as strong as you think.
It's okay. It's okay. We are all flawed in our own ways.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If someone put it to me like this, there are 3 types of the people in the world right now. There are people that are going through it, that have already been through it, or man, they are about to go through it. So I don't know. We're just kind of all in this together, just figuring it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's definitely been complicated by the pandemic, you know, just an absolute left turn out of nowhere. I just remember it went from, oh, this is something that might be an issue, to like, okay, we're locking everything down. And it was 2 weeks at first, and then it was a year before we knew it. And how has that impacted? I mean, I don't know if that's impacted streaming or anything for you, or just the way that life has been. How has that kind of changed things?
So actually, I'm having a little bit of an epiphany right now. I normally say the pandemic didn't affect my life at all, but actually where I'm at right now is because of the pandemic. I am in Ohio now, and I'm from Louisiana, and this is my timeline as the pandemic is getting very serious. My brother dies, so I have his funeral, so I had to reschedule a flight to Ohio to help my friend who's going through a really hard time up here. So I reschedule the flight, and then I come up here a week later to help out that friend who is living absolute chaos in his life. It's the craziest situation, and I had the ability to like kind of help him because I stream. So that gave me some flexibility to come help someone out. And then because of the pandemic, I got quarantined up here because my flight wouldn't take me home. My flight canceled and refunded my ticket, said, can't bring you. Try rescheduling. So I tried rescheduling, canceled and refunded, try again. I was up here for like 2.5 months, and finally my lease in Louisiana was up. I had been living up here. Me and this guy are in a relationship now. So I was just like, I'm basically living with you, so let's just go get my stuff and bring it up to Ohio. Now he and I didn't work out, so now I'm still in Ohio. But yeah, the pandemic in that way transformed my life, because I don't know if I would have moved to Ohio as quick or at all. I have no idea. But now I'm here because of the pandemic.
That's so wild. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a wild story. But outside of that, like I feel like my life, other than that big scenario, like everything else is normal.
Well, it's good that it hasn't been, well, I mean, I feel like a lot of those situations were just, you know, definitely a lot in themselves, but it didn't throw a massive additional chaos onto it, because
I was already living chaos, so I didn't even feel the pandemic.
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of just like, okay.
Chaos.
Everyone just joined you in the chaos.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
If you could do anything for a job, like anything at all in the world, and like, you know, get paid to do it, like what would your dream job be?
I honestly wonder, if I wasn't doing Twitch, if I would just say like YouTube or Twitch. Like, what a dream. I have to be able to do this. I really think that would be my answer if I didn't do Twitch. Like, I'd be like, that job sounds awesome. I guess outside of that, I think it would be really cool. So my senior year of college, I obviously lost interest in this, but I had wished I went for like computer science or something. And I picked up an interest there. And then I've lost interest and brain dumped everything I did learn. But I do wonder, like, if I didn't do Twitch, like maybe I'd like some computer science or IT stuff. And I think that would be a really fun job for me. I don't know, a news anchor. I'd have so much fun as a news anchor. I don't know. I have no idea. Other than Twitch or YouTube, news anchor, radio host would be so fun.
What kind of stuff would you want to do on YouTube?
So like if I could dream real big, did you ever watch watch Rob Dyrdek in the Fantasy Factory?
I think, yeah.
I just love the way he just like, I don't know. I remember this one episode where he like just, as a funny prank, he just covered his friend's car in cat fur, like as a cat. Just like dumb stuff like that, I think. There's like a simple vlogging life. I don't know. Vlogging would be fun. I don't know. Something along those lines would be really fun. But I guess I could do that. What's stopping me from, well, not the big prank stuff, the elaborate.
You can cover a car in hair fur if you want to. Yeah.
Sure.
Just do it.
Yeah, what's wrong with I don't have that kind of disposable income.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. I don't know. Just something goofy.
Yeah.
I just love being a kid. I'm a kid at heart, I think. So something where I get to be childlike in my job and just be myself, I think.
Yeah, I think that like the YouTube and Twitch route, I think is also nice because it allows you to continue exploring that with people, you know, and it's kind of like, sure. I want to try this, like, come along with me while I try this thing. And I feel like it's such a fun way to get to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. I have some questions. They're from my mods right now. Also to chat, if you have any questions, you can ask questions and my mods will put it in a little thing for me to read and ask our guest. So Cowboy
on their best behavior.
Cowboy asked, does Jarek still bless people with belly button pictures?
Jarek, you were ballsy enough to say that in the chat? Who said that?
Cowboy asked.
Cowboy's asking? Yeah, Cowboy, you've seen Jarek's belly button too?
Yeah, I think I received one and I mentioned it, and then...
Jarek's belly button has been around, let me tell you. It is not a belly button hole. That is a belly button hoe at this point. that thing. I've seen him dip a French fry in ketchup in that thing.
I remember hearing he was looking for a really tiny little coffee milk can thing to make a latte in his belly button. I want to know if that ever turned out, you know?
Jarek,
hello?
Jarek has left the chat. That's wow.
Well, if he returns, I have to know.
Yeah, that is not for me to answer. That is Jarek. I feel like I've sent some belly button stuff back. I did it with Photoshop.
The coffee one? If so, I need to see it because I was waiting to see how that turned out.
He needs an OnlyFans.
A belly button only? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's like a niche for that.
You can fool some people with that, Jarek. Really hot girl with a fun belly button.
An adventurous belly button.
Adventurous belly button.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Dom asked, what is your forever food? What would you eat forever if you had to pick one?
Okay. So like my forever food, could I eat this forever? I guess my favorite, I don't know if I could eat this forever though, but it is my favorite. My mom's crawfish pie is my favorite, but forever is a commitment. I don't know. Forever, there's so many different types of hamburgers, so I feel like that could be a safe committing forever food. I don't know, maybe something that changes up. Probably chicken or something forever. I have to think about my health or something, but if I'm like not thinking about my health, like I'm not gonna like put on a crazy amount of weight because my mom's crawfish pie is not healthy for you. Not good for me. I will not get any nutrients, but it's really good. Do you have a forever food?
Yeah, I usually would go towards, I kind of fluctuate. So either like sushi or like noodles, because there's so many varieties of it. Like, I mean, obviously eating a bunch of noodles for the rest of your life probably isn't the healthiest either, but like with noodles comes broth and foods, like the things in the noodles. So, but I usually go sushi because there's so much variety.
I do like, those were some good answers. I like sushi. I've been on a ramen kick, like real ramen, not like ramen noodles, but ramen. Real
ramen is a game changer. Like, you know, I've had my fair share of ramen, like in college and stuff, like, you know, like the instant noodles and whatnot. But like, I remember the first time that I went to like a shop where they make the ramen noodles there. It was just, like you can't compare it. It's so good.
I could eat it weekly. Miso ramen, I'm on it.
Oh yeah. I think one of my things on my bucket list. When I was really, really young, I went to Japan because my grandma grew up there. And the food,
So cool.
the food is amazing. Like across the board, all of their different like food varieties. But like Asian noodles, so like ramen, soba noodles, and udon, like those are probably like just because they can be made so many different ways. It's
What was your most memorable dish there?
ooh, okay. We went to Tsukiji Fish Market, which is the big market where they like sell all like really early in the morning. You can go and watch them auction off the fish. And like it's
Really
the ones that have just been caught in the ocean. And I didn't realize, I'm dumb, but like I didn't realize the tuna is massive. When you talk about like a tuna that they catch in the ocean, it's huge.
It's a boulder of a fish.
yeah.
That thing is a whale. Yeah.
I was so surprised by that. But we went to a sushi place like right next to the fish market, and it was the best I have ever had in my life. It wasn't super expensive either, but it was just the freshest sushi that I've ever had. It was like butter, like, you know, like you just like slice right through it. Like that was definitely my most memorable.
I love that. I've gone deep sea fishing and they'll catch tuna and just cut it open on the boat right there with some soy sauce. Just good.
Yeah, that's about as fresh as it gets. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are actually? You mentioned being on like deep sea fishing, so I imagine it's very rocky. Yes, out on in the deep ocean.
I guess when you're driving, it's not really that bad. No, not too bad. On the days I've been, at least. No.
Okay, my only experience going like out into the water on like a smaller boat like that is like we did like my family and I did a thing where you get in the cage and like there are sharks around you kind of thing. And the boat, really? It was so windy that day. The boat was just like back and forth even when we were stopped. So I didn't know if that was, I mean, I'm sure it can be an issue, but you know, if it's windy enough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, on the days I didn't go, what was that like?
Oh my God. You know, the sharks didn't look like I mean, they were still sharks, but they didn't look like the angry kind, if that makes sense. But they literally will throw a chunk of meat in next to the thing that you're in so that they're eating the giant chunk of meat while you're in this cage kind of thing. And like, it wasn't too bad, but I was just really worried that I was going to float too close to the edge, kind like, you know, and it was cool and scary, like a combination of both.
So how are you breathing? Like, what was your, like, were you in snorkel gear?
I think we had, I think we had like a snorkel. So it was one of those, like, you could kind of go a little bit under, you know, if you wanted to take a minute to like go underwater completely to like see what was going on. But yeah, it was a little bit like, I think it was the snorkel thing that we had on. It was cold though. It was really cold.
Yeah. That's fun. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, I bet.
Do you have any favorite like trips or just experiences that you've had?
Yeah, I have a passport, but I haven't traveled out of the country actually. I lived in Puerto Rico for 9-ish months. That has a lot of pros and cons to it, but that was interesting to get like real. It wasn't just like going to San Juan and partying and on a commercial beach. It was like real Puerto Rico. And that part was really cool. But some of my favorite trips, I think, are just mountain trips. I love going to the mountains. I love waking up to a cup of coffee, whether you're coming out of a tent or a hammock, or you're in a cabin and you're on the balcony, a challenging hike and coming home and crashing. I've done some like skiing and snowboarding, which I'm not that good at. I would love to do more of it though. So trips like that, mountain trips are my thing for sure.
How would you compare daily life, I guess kind of like the daily life and culture between living in Puerto Rico and like Louisiana, Ohio, like mainland US?
So the people there are very kind, but they are I lived in different areas. I lived in like the slums of Puerto Rico for a little while though, and they are very poor, but they're very giving. Anytime you go into their house, they are like, it's rude to just not eat. Like they are like force feeding you anything, and they don't have much of themselves to give, but they will give. And they are just kind of like that. They just want to give. They do this really cool thing on Saturday nights. I was in Ponce, Puerto Rico for this on Saturday nights. Like, you know how like here we'll go bar hopping and we take our Uber, or we drive out there and we park. Or Puerto Rico, it's like horses. 30 just horses on the side of the road going from one bar to the other. They have cervezas in their hands. It's just
Oh my
the
gosh.
wildest thing to see on a Saturday night. But and they have fruit trees growing everywhere, which is kind of rare to see, like just a wild fruit tree around here. Just
Yeah.
it was a really cool experience. Everybody was really nice. It was just an interesting experience, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's always interesting. I think one of the most interesting things to me about like traveling, especially like between like, you know, like mainland US and like other locations, is just like the differences in like little daily life, or like the little ways in doing things. Cause I feel like, I don't know, we get so used to like, this is our routine, this is what we do, this is how life is. And then seeing other ways of, I don't know, other ways of like living, and like other ways of just like, you know, going from bar to bar on a horse, like that's wild.
Yeah, or you like start appreciating your like little modern conveniences, like air conditioning.
Yeah.
That's a rare thing to have central AC there. You just have windows and it's hot and you just open your window. That's it.
Yeah.
And you just appreciate the little things. For sure.
Do you have a preference? You mentioned you like mountains and mountain trips. Do you have a preference for like a snowy mountain trip versus a woodsy? I mean, I know they're not mutually exclusive, but you know, is there any that particularly stand out to you?
Good question, actually. Yeah. I don't like being cold.
Relatable.
I'm like pretty miserable cold. As much as beautiful as the snow is, I'll take a woodsy mountain, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll take no snow. Snow is just hard to deal with. But what about you? Okay, so between beach and mountains, where do you fall?
That's hard because I used to always just easily default to beach because I love tropical weather. Like I love just like warm, like it's just, I don't know. I've just always kind of enjoyed that. But in college, I did a trip. It was like a meditation retreat. It was a class actually through like a month period of time. And we went to like a mountain center in Colorado in the Rocky Mountains, like way up there. And it was an experience where we did meditation and mindfulness like 9 hours a day. We didn't have phones, computers, or anything for like 14 days, I think. And it was just such a healing experience. Like the way that the earth can just, I don't know, like when you're up there in the trees, when you're up there just kind of surrounded by nature like that. And like being on the beach can be really soothing, you know, like listening to the ocean and stuff. But there's something about being in like the mountains in the forest that's just a different calming energy. And I also feel like a woodsy mountain woman when I'm in the woods, and it just feels really like I feel like maybe like 15% more badass. So
ooh, I like that. That's always a good feeling. Yeah, I can totally relate to that for sure. Yeah, I guess for the beach for me, I think the beach is just I think I liked the beach when I was younger, but now I go to the beach, I'm just like, what do we do today? Get sunburned? I don't know.
I associate it more with like hassle, because especially like I live in like inside in LA, so it takes like an hour to drive out to the beach. So it's like an hour in LA traffic to get to the beach, just spend 30 minutes looking for parking, and then you sit down and then you sit there for maybe, I don't know, maybe an hour, depending on by the time you get there. But then there's sand everywhere. You're covered in sunblock. You're covered in sweat. You got to get back to the car. You got to drive. Like, it's just a whole, to me, I just associate it more with like, it's too much work.
Yeah, I totally get that. I feel the same way about the beach. Yeah, a lot of work for the beach.
Oh yeah, unless you live right next to it, or you're staying somewhere where you're right next to it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a grandma about it, where I'm like, I don't want to put in the effort, but
yeah, no, I get it. Like anytime I've stayed at the beach, you just track sand into your hotel and somehow it's in your bed, even though you took a shower and you're sleeping. Like little tiny grain sands are finding you while you're sleeping.
You'll find it in your bag years later. Like,
yeah. So I get that. It is a hassle. And then you're sunburned at the end of the day, and I burn so easily.
Oh my God. It's and you don't really realize how bad it is until like a few hours after you're out of the sun, and you're like, well, there's nothing I can do about it except be burnt now.
I'm toasted. Yeah.
Yeah. My worst experience was I went surfing once and I didn't think to put extra sunblock on the backs of my legs, because you're on your stomach the whole time. My legs were just fried. I couldn't sit down.
Oh no.
It was a learning moment.
Yeah, sunblock on the back of the legs.
Yeah.
I'll know that if I ever go surfing, I'll think of this story.
Yeah.
I'll learn through you.
Yes,
I learned my lesson.
good. If I can save just one person from that pain.
It's me.
Cowboy asked his classic question of, when you're making a bowl of cereal, actually, I'll read it in his wording. It's fancier. When
here we go.
concocting a bowl of cereal, what goes first into the mixture, milk or cereal?
Well, Cowboy, you're not gonna like my answer very much. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a cereal first kind of person.
Okay.
We were just talking about this on my stream. You never know when someone's a milk person. Like, you can know somebody for years.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how often do you make cereal with someone else? Almost never. I knew someone for like 8 years, and we like lived together like for like a short period of time, and I watched them make a bowl of cereal. I'm like, you know, the entire internet hates you because you pour your milk first, right? How I don't even know who you are, and I've known you for 8 years.
That's, yeah, I guess that's true. You don't ever, like, it's never
You
something
never
that
know.
comes up. Like,
Your best friend could be a psychopath if you never ask that question, pouring their milk
I need to
first.
text my best friend
No
after
idea.
this. Like, I need
Tell
to
me
know.
your cereal making process.
Please tell me.
immediately.
Yeah.
I think the more important question, Cowboy, the more important question is, what's your favorite cereal, though?
True.
I think that says a lot about a person, like what your cereal choice is. And as an adult, I never buy cereal. I don't think I have cereal in my house.
It's one of
Do
those,
you?
like, if I get cereal, well, for one, I like default to Cheerios because I'm boring, you know, like, they're a versatile cereal. I can eat them as a snack, like,
Okay.
you know.
All right.
I think we recently got, mini wheats or something. Sometimes I'll be crazy and do like Cocoa Pebbles or something.
Cocoa Pebbles. They get really soggy really fast.
Yeah.
Like Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles just is like mush.
You
by
gotta
the end
eat
of
them
breakfast.
like quickly if you want to enjoy
You're
the
on
crunch.
a time limit,
Yeah.
for sure. If you're not starving, don't bother. If you're trying to enjoy breakfast, Cowboy likes Frosted Flakes, Fruity Pebbles. I think I may. I don't know. I think if I had to go like pick cereal off the shelf right now, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my go-to.
That's
I
a
would
good
say,
one.
right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, I agree.
I used to have so
Red
much
berries.
fun with like the variety of cereal, like getting a variety pack of cereal, you know, like the little small boxes, like, and then it would be like, all right,
the baby boxes?
yeah, like the small boxes.
Only because they're cute, or because you get a lot of them?
Mostly
they're
because I
kinda
like things
cute.
that are small. Yeah, like I like a smaller version of something that's like. I just love when I like little teaspoons that are like really tiny spoons. Like, I don't know why, but it's kind of my favorite thing.
That's funny. I'm glad I asked for clarification, because you like variety, or it's just like cuter.
It's just a small version of
It's
something
cute.
big, and I just really enjoy it.
Look, size matters, guys, but small.
Exactly. Size matters, and not in the way you'd expect.
Not the way you'd expect at all, no. That's funny.
Let's see. Dipped in Me here asked vanilla or chocolate ice cream.
Ice cream. Growing up, I would have said chocolate, but I'm now a vanilla girl.
Interesting. Was there a
Yeah.
point that it just changed, that everything changed and you switched?
Yeah, when I moved out. I grew up eating chocolate with my parents, and that's what I was getting. My dad would just get chocolate ice cream. Like, all right, I like this. This is good. They would never really get vanilla. So I was like, yeah, I'm a chocolate girl. And then I moved out and made my own decisions.
You
Sorry,
grew
Dad,
up.
I betrayed you.
Do you like, do you have a different favorite flavor outside of those two?
My go-to in most places would be cookies and cream, but I recently had ice cream over the weekend, and it's like this gooey cake ice cream.
Interesting.
I can't stop thinking about it. I will be going back.
That's honestly the best, when you have something that is so good that it's like, you know, you're gonna have to go back to get more of it.
Oh yeah, I go through like phases of being obsessed with something, and that's like my ice cream flavor right now from that dojo place. It's
My
so
biggest
good.
problem with that is like, I'll be obsessed with something and then I burn out on it because like I'll get it too much because I'm so excited about how good it
ruin
is.
it for yourself?
I do. I ruin things for myself more than people ruin things for me.
What's your thing right now? What's your like go-to? What are you ruining for yourself right now?
What am I currently ruining for myself? Probably recently I've been going to this like 85-degree cafe, and they have like a passion fruit green tea with boba. It's one of my favorites. That's probably what I'm ruining for myself right now. I feel like I could just like make a monthly, like, what am I gonna ruin for myself this month?
I like that. That's funny. I haven't had boba tea too much. I think I've had boba is like the jelly balls in the tea, right? I'm so uncultured. Help.
Oh yeah, they're like the little tapioca. Balls? Yeah, they're like little tapioca balls.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've had that like twice. Just like it just gets stuck in the back of my throat.
Yeah. I mean, typically you should chew it a little bit. You don't have to, but
I'm
you know,
not experienced with the tapioca balls.
I'm a seasoned boba drinker, so
she knows what she's doing.
Let's see. Fieldman asked, "What is your favorite guilty pleasure snack?"
Okay. So they're like 85 cents at Aldi's. It's like this big. Most people are gonna be like, this is gross, but it's iced oatmeal cookies. Like, the really hard, they're like a brick, but I cannot stop eating them when I get them. And let me tell you, they're better stale. Like, you think when things get stale, I leave them open in my cabinet.
What? For them you let them get stale on purpose?
Yeah, they're better that way, but they're good not stale. They're fine fresh out the bag. They're very hard when they're fresh, but as they get stale, they get soft, and they're better.
So strange.
Yeah, so just the cheap iced oatmeal cookies is like kind of my guilty pleasure snack right now.
Oatmeal cookies are honestly kind of one of my favorite cookies, so I can get behind that. What I don't know if I can get behind is willingly letting them get stale.
I didn't know I was gonna do this to myself tonight. Don't judge me, guys. It's okay. I promise. Look, try it and let me know. One stale cookie for me.
I'll have to. I'll look into it. I feel like I need to give it a try.
Moldy. No black mold. Don't let it get to that point.
My boyfriend opened our applesauce today, and there was mold inside of it. I didn't realize applesauce could get moldy.
What?
Applesauce can get moldy, apparently. Like,
yeah.
I also had a bad experience with applesauce when I was in college. I didn't realize you had to refrigerate it after opening it.
Oh.
And I just like kept eating it. And one day I was like, why does this taste like alcohol? It has started to ferment.
Oh, she's making wine out of her.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Applesauce beer is a cider, guys.
I just like, it was just that moment where I opened it. I was like, this doesn't smell right. And that's when it said, I looked at it and it says refrigerate after opening.
It doesn't smell right. So we're going to make sure it tastes fine.
Yeah. It was, not my shining moment as a human.
Oh God.
Let's see. Chris asked, do you have any guilty pleasures? And then in parentheses, unrelated to Fieldman's question.
Guilty pleasures. Maybe writing a little bit is a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I don't know. I don't really watch TV too much, so I can't really say that. Guilty pleasures. What do I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. Maybe just doing my self-reflection right now with the we're not strangers. That's kind of a pleasure. Guilty. It's not guilty though. That's very healthy of me, actually. Shouldn't feel guilty about that at all. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for that. Huh. Do you have one? Do you have a guilty pleasure right now?
I don't know if I have, like, I mean, I have a tendency to binge watch TV shows. I mean, and I'm more likely to rewatch a show that I've already seen than start a new one. Yeah, I think it's an anxiety thing because I know what's going to happen. So I feel a little bit less stressed about it. I probably watch more comedy than I do drama. So I just like to rewatch like funny shows that I like. And then also it's one of those, I can play it in the background and do other things instead of like having to pay attention. But
yeah,
maybe just watching TV.
Yeah, I get that actually. I think that's a little bit more common, the rewatching thing. I guess that just sounds wild to me because the idea of rewatching something, but I did do that a little bit with The Office, but only because I was with somebody who rewatched The Office, so I would with them. But I think if it were up to me, I wouldn't sit down and rewatch. TikTok is her guilt. Okay, my mom knows. So unironically, I do watch TikTok now. I do kind of, that's not even a joke. Like sometimes I do just get lost on TikTok. That might be it. Mom, don't tell. Why are you telling people that, Mom? I'm trying to look cool on the internet right now.
I've stayed off of it as long as I possibly could. And but then people are like, if you want to like grow as a streamer or whatever, like you got to do it. And so I've started trying to slowly integrate into it. I'm just so confused about, I feel like I'm an old person. I don't understand it at all. Like I just copy what other people do. Or like
that's all it is, really. People copying people. Yeah.
So I'm figuring it out, but it is really easy if you're on like the For You page just to keep scroll. The infinite scroll is how they get you. Like there's never an end.
TikTok, yeah. I agree. But TikTok, I feel the same way. Like I watch TikTok. I don't really post too much, but I really should. It's definitely underutilized for me because there's so much discoverability there for a streamer. Because I sit there and consume so much 30-second to 60-second videos every time I get on there, hundreds of them probably.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to go viral and get views. Definitely so much discoverability there. So I should get better. You should get better at it too.
Yeah.
We should grow our channels through TikTok.
Yes.
Love TikTok.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's one of those that I'm like, I think one of the things that's stressful about being like a content creator is how much work goes into it that people don't even realize, especially streaming. So they're like, oh, it's just when you get on and like that's it. But it's not just that. You've got to manage like, all right, well, I've got to update like my Twitter or like my Instagram or if you're on TikTok, and all of that is like different kinds of content that you have to be creating and organizing outside of streaming. And it's like I need a planner specifically to plan like when I'm doing each thing.
I can imagine your podcast being like, I know it's like a super fun time, but I know there's a lot of work that goes into it behind that, like reaching out to people, then making sure their schedule falls into place and making schedules line up. And then you make the graphics for it all and you're posting on time, getting the word out there.
Scheduled tweets saved my life. Like I can schedule because I'll make, as soon as I can get the photo, I make it and I go on my computer and I schedule the tweet. So they're almost always Saturday at like 11:30 that I have them go out. But like,
oh, you're good about it.
For me, the scariest part is reaching out to people because I'm like socially anxious too. So then I'll like reach out and be like, hi, do you maybe want to do this thing? But it's fine if you don't, like, and I'll immediately like run and hide, I mean, I send like emails and stuff, but, and like, at the end of the day, if people aren't interested or don't have time to, like, I get that and it's all right. But that's, I think the most stressful part to me is just like, I get I get so anxious about it sometimes.
I think it was like kind of an honor that you wanted me. I was like, oh, don't get anxious at all. Honestly, is flattering. You shouldn't. But I get that. It's kind of like a little bit of maybe you just overthink rejection a little bit too much. No one likes that. That never feels good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a stem from that a little bit. I get that.
Yeah, I have probably too much of an issue with that, being that I'm in an industry that will be mostly rejection, but we're working on it.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that can be a hard thing to overcome.
7 Up 9 Down asked, can you tell turtle joke?
No. I can't. This is my dad's joke, by the way. They asked for this turtle joke that my dad has told for years. And it's like my dad's signature joke that he tells. So without further ado, it's a really good one. It's a really good one. Dad, this joke is so good. It's so funny when you tell it. Okay. So, gosh, it's really funny, I swear. All right. So what does the snail say when he's riding on the turtle's back? He says, "Whee!" Oh, I didn't even get a pity laugh. She's like, help me through this. That's how I feel telling it. I'm like, okay. Slow down. That's actually a common guess. Thank you. Thank you. Doing my dad justice.
It's the dad joke way.
It's cute. It is a dad joke for sure. Yeah. Boy.
Let's see. Oh, so Dom also asked, when spelling bananas, do you think the song at full speed in your head or slower so you can just spell it? I don't know if you know that it's Gwen Stefani, right?
Bananas. Do I spell it with the song?
Yes, I think that's the question.
I don't actually know.
You didn't? Man, that's how I learned how to spell bananas.
Don't. Dude, I think Lil Wayne taught me how to spell independent. And mispronouncing Wednesday is how I spell Wednesday.
Yep.
But you know, bananas isn't it for me, actually. No, I don't.
So you do the Wednesday, but you don't do
Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay. Do you do February?
No, actually, I don't. No, I should. I guess I spell it right. Maybe I spell it right. Maybe I spell it wrong. I don't know.
You've never thought about it this much.
goes in there.
7 Up 9 Down says, Tay, shrimp story?
Which part of it do you want to hear? It's a very tragic story. Have you heard the shrimp story?
I feel like I've heard parts of it.
So about a year ago, I really wanted a pet, but I knew I wasn't responsible enough for a dog. I was living in an apartment, couldn't do a dog. So for my birthday, someone sent me a ecosphere, and it was self-sustainable. It's a glass orb, and you can't get into the orb. It's not like a fishbowl. It's like solid shut, but within that orb, there are like 4 little fish, little shrimps in there. So the first one I got, yeah, there's multiple. The first one I got, I didn't know what it was. It was in a box, and I go to open the box, and I'm pulling styrofoam out, and I'm looking in, and there's nothing in there, and I hear it smash. And it's because it was suctioned to the styrofoam.
Oh no!
And I look down and there's water. I'm like, oh, someone sent me a snow globe. And then like plastered to my wall. They like splashed onto the wall. I see like little dead shrimp. I'm like, oh, I should start reading what this was. And so it was an ecosphere. I'm like, well, RIP. And then I reached out to the company. I was like, hey, I didn't know I was getting this, but I got it. And it suction cupped to itself, and like I killed them. Can I have another one? It's like, well, they were nice. They were like, yeah, we can send you another one. We're sorry that happened. So they sent me another one. I knew what I was getting into. So with the second orb, my problem was feeding them. So within the ecosphere, they have like a little fern plant that grows, and it needs sunlight. And my apartment didn't get very good sunlight. So like sometimes I'd show them on stream, and I'd be like, here's my fish, they're doing so well. And then someone was like, they don't have enough food, they're about to go hungry, like you need to give them more sunlight. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. So I started putting them outside, and it got really cold, and they froze to death. So that was the second one.
Oh no.
So they were like, you got this. The third orb, you got it, Taydro. These shrimp are yours. So the third one comes in. And this time they send it with an LED lamp, so I don't have to put them outside for sunshine. Like I have a little LED lamp. They're on a timer. Things are good. Nothing. What can go wrong? What went wrong is me owning them. It's me. I'm the problem.
No.
I got quarantined in Ohio. I left the lamp on. I was only gonna be gone for a week. They should have been fine. I was gone for 2.5 months, and I came back and they were like disintegrated. the lamp just like fried them.
Oh no!
They were just like floating in there. So the shrimp didn't make it. But so I've gone through like 3 different rounds. I've killed about 12 shrimp at this point. But now I have one pet. It is my spider, and he's doing well. I thought he was dead the other day. Like there was a period of time he disappeared, but we got him. He was just molting, but I wasn't sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What kind of spider?
A jumping spider.
That just sounds scary.
That does. I don't like spiders either, but I like this one.
Okay.
These type of spiders, they're different. They're cute. They're like Lucas the spider, if you've ever seen him.
Yes, I was gonna say like the cute little. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what he is, a cutie. But
yeah. Oh my gosh, three different. Now I kind of want to get an orb, but I feel like my cat will absolutely push it off a shelf. So
killed by the cat.
I can't bring them into that kind of home. Yeah. Let's see. Chris asked if you have a favorite musical artist.
It kind of varies. So this is another thing. I think just my whole life is like this. I go through waves of just loving a genre or an artist in particular or a certain song. Like I'll get obsessed with one song and have it on repeat in one car ride. I'll listen to it like 5 times. It's a problem. But I guess like my most consistent artist right now that I like to listen to is probably just Coheed and Cambria. I think is just like my most consistent artist that I go to. Eden, I do like Eden. Yeah, Eden's dope. Yeah.
Let's see.
But, probably not my most consistent.
7 Up 9 Down also asked, what is her hair conditioning advice for me?
For you?
For I think for 7 Up 9 Down.
Oh, for you to give it to me?
Or I think your advice for them.
My advice for 7 Up 9 Down. Are you still trying to grow hair? At this point, I would just rub Nair on your head. Like, just go completely bald. Just Nair.
Actually, be careful. I Naired my face once and I chemically burnt my face.
Oh, no.
That's a life experience that I have, unfortunately. Just read the bottle, okay? Some stuff is meant for your face. Which I didn't do with the applesauce either. I have a direction reading problem, apparently. Yeah. Don't lose some of your skin off your face. Don't do that. Yeah. That was a bad time.
Oh my god.
I ran downstairs to my mom yelling that I'm ugly and I'll never get cast and stuff. Yeah, it's okay. Like I'm okay now. Vitamin E oil saved me, but
wow, Nair on the face. I'll never do that. Nair is kind of painful even on my legs. It'll make them really itchy, but it's been a long time since I've used that.
Yeah, I haven't used it.
I'm pretty much shelves anymore.
I don't even know. I haven't used it since then because I was like, I don't want to be near it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, that sounds painful.
Let's see. 7 Up 9 Down also asked, is it because they found cocaine in Cinnamon Crunch? I'm guessing this is referring to your favorite cereal choice.
Oh, no, there's no drugs.
I didn't know that was a thing. I
don't know.
Or if that is a thing. I know that they found shrimp in Cinnamon.
I was about to say that. I saw that. The shrimp in there. I wonder whatever happened with the testing. That didn't need to happen, but they're going to do lab testing on the shrimp. That was a little excessive, but I'm here for that. That's sure. Yeah, let's do it. The shrimp, right?
Let's see. Chris asked, what is your favorite water brand and why is it Poland Spring?
Deer Park.
Is that a water brand?
Yeah. I think I like spring water. It actually does have like a little weird taste and people usually don't like it, but I like Deer Park water. Yeah, I've never heard of Poland Spring. Wrong answer. Which one's Chris specifically?
Chris is Swan the Kraken.
Swan the Kraken. Okay. Where's Polish Spring from? Where do I get that? And why is your answer the wrong answer? Sucks, bro. My name is Mare.
I drank Dasani once on stream and I got roasted for it forever.
Oh yeah, I think them having like some sodium content. Yeah, just no one likes them because of that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing, sodium. And everybody's like, "You're drinking Dasani," and so I got other water after that. It was just what was there.
If that's what's available, I'll drink it too. I'm not snobby with my water. I was like tap water. I'm disgusting.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll drink out the sink.
I was gonna say in my apartment, I drink tap water pretty much. Yeah. But I was at my grandpa's house, and we had the Dasani there. That's what it was. God forbid I drink Dasani on stream.
Gosh. Dasani is my fave. I don't think it's my main grab though. I will say that ever since I got roasted for it, I'm like, oh, I can't be seen.
I actively avoid it now because of that.
Yeah, got a reputation to protect.
Let's see. I don't know how to pronounce the username, but I think it's your mom. Cup
To be fair, I don't know how to pronounce my own mom's username.
Okay. She said 5 minutes of Tiffany, question mark?
No, Mom, we're on the wrong stream. No, I'm not going to curse you guys with that. We're okay.
It's okay, guys. If you do the guest command in chat, it'll give you her link so we can all go over there someday and check out Tiffany.
I love Tiffany.
Let's see. Cowboy asked, Shrimp Part 4 when?
I just don't trust myself. Like, these shrimp are self-sustainable, and if anybody can kill 3 rounds of self-sustainable shrimp, it's me. I should just be banned. Like, I'm the poster child for irresponsibility. That's just me. I don't deserve them. Pork chop needs siblings, they would eat him.
Oh, it just like the way that each of them happened.
They all have their own story.
I remember, I came through one of your streams and I remember hearing about shrimp, and I heard about one of them. I think when I came through, it was the second or third one, but I didn't realize that it was the second or third one. I thought it was like a single isolated situation.
These guys won't let it die like I've let it die 3 times. Just let it die, guys. Let them die. It's okay.
Let's see. DM, I don't know if it's DM Pullen or DMP Olin, or anyway, that username said, will she ever release us from the basement?
I don't know what you're talking about. No idea. And if anybody mentions that, I have no idea what they're talking about. I love you guys. Best friends forever.
It's just like Cowboy likes to joke that I have him trapped in a basement. He's like, or whenever someone's like, oh, like, let's hang out. It's like, oh, do you want to visit Cowboy in the basement?
Yeah, I definitely don't have anyone chained to a radiator. No. At least that's what my lawyer asked me to say.
Oh yeah. I know how it goes. I know that you have like limited time, so I don't want to hold you too long. I guess if anyone has any final questions to ask, get them in now so that I can make sure that you can, get out and do life. The food tube is clogged.
The food tube.
Oh my gosh.
How does it feel to know I didn't read anything, Dylan? I didn't read anything. Don't worry, your mod status will be lost in my chat. Mom, don't think I didn't see that. Will you chain me to a radiator? No, I'm not gonna do that, but you can just follow me down to the basement, check it out. I have a really cool basement.
Yeah, just go hang out. It's like a casual.
It's so fun. Yeah.
It's fun in the basement.
Fun.
Everybody says so. I mean, you can't ask them, but like
all of our friends are down there.
Yeah, they're just waiting for you. It's a surprise party
for you.
We're all waiting here for you.
Just close your eyes. I'm just gonna put this around your wrist right here.
It's like a blindfold, but for your wrist. No peeking. Oh, I see a Fieldman question. What was your video game of choice when you were just a small Taydro?
Small Taydro. Oh, H1Z1. First started off with the H1Z1 survival, and then they came out with the battle royale a little bit later, and I was hooked, obsessed. It was a problem. Disgusting with it. So many hours. Don't want to say any more than that. Oh, as a kid. Oh, a small Taydro. I thought you meant like a small. So I think Taydro, I think of my channel, my Twitch Taydro. So like when I was a smaller streamer, didn't have any viewers. That's what I thought you meant by that. Small Taydro, my game of choice. Oh gosh. Like I liked, Spyro stands out to me a lot.
Yeah,
that's
a good one.
Spyro. That stands out in my childhood. Or like I remember playing like Mario Kart and stuff like that. That was fun. but Spyro for some reason is just a big one that I played over and over.
Where did the Taydro name come from? Like the username?
Good question. Yeah, because that's definitely one I've changed when I came back to Twitch. Taydro came from my little brother, actually, and before he died, actually. So it's kind of cool that I kind of get to remember him by that, because that was a nickname he had for me. I don't know where it came from. He just called me that when I was deciding if I wanted to come back to Twitch or not. I was like, hey, I need a username. Like, do you care if I make it Taydro? And he's like, you should go for it. Like, do that.
I love that. Yeah, that's so I feel like that's such a great like memory with it as well.
Yeah. So it was my little brother's nickname for me.
That's awesome. I think Snowy the Destroyer said, what is the best thing you love about your Twitch community?
Oh, they're the worst. I don't like them. Most streamers, they're like, my community is the best. I'm like, dude, those guys suck. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're literally the best humans on the face. Everybody says their Twitch community is the best. I get it. I do. I am about to sound so biased, and I'm sure you have a lovely community, but dude, my community rocks. I have made some of the best friends I've ever made in my life. I've known some of them, like, they've been around for a couple months, and I feel like I've known them my whole life. Some of them have been around what feels like my whole life sometimes. Like, I've known some of them for like 6 years. Some of them, like, I've met up with in real life, or we have plans to meet up in real life. Or we hang out in Discord, and we have like, every now and then we'll have like a drunk community night in Discord, which is super rare because I like barely drink, but I will with them. Like, most of my drinking nights are with them. So I love them so much. They have supported me. Like, they were my rock during the hardest stretch of my life. They supported my family, supported my mom and dad during the hardest time. I will cry. I have an awesome community. But I do love you guys very much. Thank y'all for everything y'all do. Thank you for coming out tonight too.
I think one of my favorite things that one of my previous guests said is, they said, so every streamer pretty much without a doubt will say that they have the best community. And it's true for every streamer. Like, you have the community that you put the energy out to create. And so for every creator, it's true. Like, you do have the best community.
For sure. Agree. Yeah, they gravitate to your personality. Yeah. You just mesh in that way. I get that. For sure.
DM Pullen asked, will Sale ever return?
That was a DMCA thing, which, like, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes I'll stop caring about DMCA a little bit. I would love to do Sale again, but DMCA ruins a lot for me. DMCA is like just ruined the vibe of streaming a little bit. Like, being able to jam out to like your favorite songs.
Oh my gosh,
or like a good song. Man, that sucks.
I've got my DMCA safe playlist of all the same songs that I know them all now because I've listened to the same ones on repeat since it started. Yeah. But yeah, it sucks because it's also like, you can't pull up a video without worrying like, oh, is there music in this? Am I gonna get in trouble for this? Or Yeah,
I've been kind of risking it for the biscuit here a little bit. I probably shouldn't say that, but we just kind of like, if my first copyright comes, I'll just stop. And then because we get 3. So, I'm really and I'm seeing other streamers risking it a little bit. That's kind of what gave me the courage to risk it. I messaged some other streamers that are just like, don't care about the DMCA stuff at all. They're just out there doing what they want to do, what makes them happy, dancing and listening to today's hits.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why are you not terrified right now? Like, this is your whole career. What's going on here? And they're like, here's what I think. And I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna start risking it. I want to do what makes me happy too. So sometimes I will, but I delete the bot. And I'm doing fine. We're fine so far.
That's what because I had just started getting into doing like Just Dance on stream, and then all of it went down, and I was like, well, how am I supposed to do that now? Because it's all like music that I could get strikes for. But I was talking to someone else who's been doing it also, and it was kind of just like, I'll just do it and delete the VODs and delete any clips. So you know?
That's how I've been doing. And so far, so good. And I have my little message. If I get a copyright strike, I will change my ways. But till then,
Until
I'm
then, yeah.
I'm not like going full bore with it though. Like I dabble in it lightly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
I think, there's one more question. 7up9 down said, how do you remember that 100-day challenge now that some time has passed?
That was definitely a challenge. It's what it was called. It was a challenge. Streaming every day for 100 days.
Oh, dang.
Was challenging. Because there's no like big down breaks. I have a few people like Jack44 for us. He's starting a 100-day challenge. I have like another friend, Casey Rosalcopter. He's starting the 100-day challenge. It is a challenge to be here every single day. Like especially days, sometimes you have a day where you can't show up, but you have to show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but I met some awesome people along the way, and I have something to be proud of. Like I'm really proud of myself for accomplishing it, because I have trouble finishing things sometimes. I'm very mad about it, but I finished that, so that was a good one.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I know how much I value my off days, just to have a day to like get myself back together. So I can't imagine that would be. Yeah. Because it's also such an extended period of time, because that's like a little over 3 months of just nonstop. I mean, obviously you're not streaming the entire time, but like, you know, you every day you have to get yourself together and, you know, get on stream.
You have to wake up and think about stream every day. Like the days I don't stream, like I don't have to think about stream, even though I do actually, because not having a schedule, days I don't stream, I feel guilt not streaming actually. Because I didn't like say I'm taking today off, but I didn't have a schedule to be there. I still feel guilt, but I do get days off. But thinking about stream every single day, when am I going to stream? Am I good to stream? Do I have the energy to stream? Should I wait till it's evening time? It just like consumed the day, even though I wasn't streaming all day.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that's it on all of the new questions, and I don't want to keep you too long, just because I know, you know, you gotta take care of yourself and everything. But so I do want to just take the moment to thank you so much for coming and hanging out. It was such a good time. You were such a wonderful human, and I had so much fun. Like, you were such a fun person to hang out with, and I hopefully will be able to hang out with you in the future as well, because you are just such a wonderful human, and you're hilarious.
God, I would love that. Yeah, I had so much fun with you. Yeah, thank you for having me and for hanging out with us tonight, guys. And thank you for the good questions. I enjoyed the back and forth. That was really fun for me too. I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, I was not expecting to answer a question. Like, you caught me off guard, not in a bad way. I just was not prepared, and it was good. I feel like it was a lot of, I don't know, really fun conversation, and I feel like you have such great perspective on things, and it was just really great to get to hear.
I super enjoyed it.
If you want to plug anything, or, you know, if there's anything in particular you'd like to promote, I mean, we've got your Twitch link in chat under our guest command, but if you want to plug social media or anything else, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I got it. Give your Twitch Prime to Ayayoshi.
No, don't do that. Do not do that. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again. If you want to say goodbye to everyone in chat, I'm going to transition us over. They're going to look at your lovely face while I say goodbye to you. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. I had a good time. Thank you for the questions too. Really good questions tonight, especially from you. That was so much fun. So
I clicked the button accidentally. Sorry. Okay. Bye.
You're good. Bye. Thank you for having me.